everyone. I'm Waqas Malik, a forgiveness coach, and I welcome to all of you in today's interview with Leighton Dewitt, who is a freedom coach and mindful escape host. And he will shed light on his inspiring journey and how mindfulness and life coaching can transform the lives of busy professionals. So, my first question is to you that can you share more about your journey and what inspired you to become a mindful escape host and life coach focused on helping busy professionals find freedom and fulfillment in their lives?
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, thank you for having me. And yeah, pleasure to be here. So, where do I start? So, yeah, Mindful Escape was an idea that I came up with in January this year. So, it's only 10 months old. I've been coaching on and off for about 3 years. And in January, I created Mindful Escape. I started interviewing professionals who had left the corporate world and started doing their own thing, which they were passionate about and brought them purpose in their life. And there was something about this that was really inspiring for me because I'd come from a world where I felt quite stuck and that there was only really one way of living life, and that was to get a job, earn as much money as you can, buy a house, have a family, have children, and then retire. And I just felt going through my life, I was becoming quite stressed and anxious, and I became depressed. And I just felt like there must be something more to life. There must be another way of living. So when I left London, I started traveling and I was meeting all these people who inspired me to think, yeah, there are other ways of living. And obviously, through my podcast, I was interviewing all of these people who were showing me that it can be done. And yeah, now I'm on this journey. I've been traveling around Asia for almost 2 years now and coaching people who are stuck in their professional life and mainly stuck because of their limiting beliefs or because of the autopilot that they've got onto. And they just can't figure out a way of living a more fulfilled life.
Right. So you talk about the challenges of going through the motions and feeling a sense of emptiness. Can you elaborate on how mindfulness, meditation, breath work, and yoga played a role in your own transformation?
So for me, when I was working, it was very much fixated on earning as much money as I could so that I could buy these material, shiny things. And no matter how much I earned or how much I had, I was never truly that happy. So when I started my mindfulness practice, yoga, meditation, it allowed me to just find this state of calmness and understand what was important to me in my life. And it was a very gradual process of implementing these, but the more I practiced, the better I became, the more consistent I was with it. And it just allowed me to find this space of inner freedom where I felt like I could do the things that I actually wanted to do and not feel stuck in terms of just doing the same things over and over again.
Right. So in your work, you emphasize the importance of conquering stress. What are some practical steps or strategies individuals can take to begin managing and reducing stress in their lives?
So I think you mentioned it in the messaging that I've got a guide, which is a 7-step guide to conquering stress. And there's 7 practical steps that people can go through to start implementing. But the key ones, I guess, without going through all 7, is going to be firstly finding your breath. So it's just taking a moment to breathe and be calm. One of the other ones, which is really important, is not having your digital device with you at all times because it becomes attached to us and we are constantly being interrupted or distracted by this thing. And you can't give yourself a moment to think and to be calm and know what's actually going on without this distraction. So they would be my 2 key takeaways.
Your coaching, you focus on helping people find their inner guide. How do you assist individuals in connecting with their inner selves and intuition?
I found that on my journey, it was quite difficult to connect with my gut feeling or my intuition or my instincts until I started reducing the noise that was around me. For me, it was stepping away from the environment that I was living in, but understandably, a lot of people can't do that. So, in order to start listening to their instincts, my clients have to start finding ways to be on their own. And that could be through meditation, it could be mindfulness, but finding ways to turn down the volume of all the voices that are going on in their head, all the distractions, whether that's people around them, whether it's their phone, whether it's watching TV. It's reducing those distractions so they can start listening to themselves, listening to their body, and then they can really learn to trust their instincts, their gut feelings, and make the decisions that they need to make to live a better life.
Mention seeking distractions as a way to cope with inner struggles. How can individuals recognize these distractions in their own lives and begin addressing them?
The majority of things in our lives are going to be distractions. So it's looking at everything in your life that could be stopping you from feeling, and that could be feeling emotions, whether it's positive or negative, but anything that creates a barrier between you feeling and not feeling, it needs to be reduced or removed. So, and it could be as far as anything from drinking alcohol to going to the gym. It could be anything. And it's just looking at every area of your life and thinking, okay, how does this impact me? And is it stopping me from feeling the sensations, feeling the emotions, and actually understanding what's going on with me?
Are on a mission to inspire 1 million people to live their dream lives. What does living a dream life mean to you? And how do you help others define and pursue their dreams?
It's a great question because for everyone, living your dream life is different. And for me, it's this idea of freedom and flexibility, being able to be wherever I want to be, whenever I want to be, and not being tied to a specific place or location. That's my definition. For someone else, it could be completely different. But as we talked about in terms of trusting your intuition and your gut feeling, and as we reduce all these distractions that are going on around us, we learn to figure out what we truly want rather than what society tells us that we want. And as we can start to uncover these layers and figure out what our passion is and our purpose is, then we can decide what our best life would look like and we can guide ourselves towards living that way.
Share more about your ebook, 7 Steps to Conquer Stress, and how it can assist individuals on their journey to a more fulfilling life.
It's a very straightforward and easy step-by-step guide. And the idea is that you can literally get through it very quickly by maybe implementing one step every day. So within a week, you're completely transforming your life. And going through each step, so I can go through them with you, it's setting an intention, finding time for peace and tranquility, learning to embrace gratitude, which is really important, finding time to breathe, which I mentioned earlier on, and getting rid of your device. So not always being with your phone, whether that's in the bedroom or in the bathroom, and obviously goes into more detail. I also talk about mindful eating, so eating in peace and really enjoying that moment and not just stuffing food down. And then the final step is just learning to let go and go with the flow. So many of us get caught up in this stress and anxiety. And if by going through this step-by-step process, you slowly learn to let go of each part, find more peace, and live with less stress.
In your experience, how does the concept of forgiveness play a role in helping individuals overcome self doubt and find inner peace and fulfillment? Are there forgiveness practices or insights you can share with our audience?
I don't use many forgiveness practices myself, but I understand the value of them. And the biggest part of forgiveness for me was forgiving myself, because a lot of the forgiveness that we talked about during our childhood and early adulthood is all about forgiving other people. But what I found as I went through my healing journey was that I needed to forgive myself for the way that I behaved, the things that I'd done, because I was living with guilt and shame. And until you can release this, forgive yourself, then you can't be your true authentic self, because you're always holding yourself back behind this guilt and this shame. So that's the main thing I'd say about forgiving.
What advice do you have for busy professionals who want to integrate mindfulness practices into their daily routines but struggle to find the time and consistency?
Time is obviously one of the biggest challenges that busy professionals have. So it just comes down to prioritizing at the end of the day. And there's the old saying that if you haven't got time to meditate for 10 minutes, then you should meditate for 20. And the idea here is that you need to find the time in your day to slow everything down, because when you're moving at such a fast pace, it just feels like you haven't got time for anything. But actually, if you can take that moment to just stop, find that calmness, take a moment to do some breath work or some meditation, just to make you step back and have a better view of what actually needs to be done. Because when you're in it, it's just too stressful, it's too fast paced, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. In terms of implementing it, my best advice is to just do it first thing in the day. Wake up and practice, whether it's breath work, mindfulness, meditation, whatever tools work best for you. If you do that first thing in the day, so there's no excuses, then you'll start your day off on the right foot.
Thank you for joining us in this insightful conversation with Leighton Dewitt as he shared his experiences, strategies, and his mission to inspire 1 million people to live their dream lives. We hope you found this discussion enlightening and motivating. Thank you.